Okay, so today is the review for the logs test. So the logs test in my class is going to be tomorrow. I think some of the classes are actually taking their tests on Monday. Just fair, full disclosure. That means they'll have less days of review than we will next week as we get ready for the cumulative test, the big quarterfinal. So anyway, I think you guys are ready anyways. So today I'm not even going to talk for too long about the review. I do want to address letter E as in elephant because it's a little weird and you've seen things like this before. When you rewrite this, do you get, first of all, that you need to rewrite it? All right, so it's 10 to the second equals x squared plus 36. Well, that's like 100 equals x squared plus 36. Now, there are two ways to do these. If you can factor it, you should. But first, you should set it equal to 0. So I should move that 100 to the other side. So I'm taking 100 away from both sides. It'll be 0 equals x squared minus 64. And that should ring some bells like, ooh, that's a perfect square. And that's a perfect square. So I can just go like this, x minus 8 and x plus 8. And you get two answers, 8 and negative 8. Now this one's kind of confusing for people because they forgot how to do a quadratic, which is where you factor it. What if you can't factor? So the saying goes like this. If you can factor it, you should. If you can't factor, quadratic formula. All right, quadratic formula would have worked too. This is A. A is the number on that, which is a 1. And the B would be this, nope, there is no B term. And the C would be negative 64. When you put that all in the quadratic formula, you'd still come out to 8, and negative 8 is your answers. Then the other thing is, if you even remembered that x equals 8 and x equals negative 8 are the two answers, one of them often doesn't work. Should I just automatically cross off all negatives? No. But I'm going to look and see if it ends up working out or not. Do you get when I put that negative in here and then I square it, it's like it wasn't even negative at all? So on this one, both answers do work, 8 and negative 8. And it ends up being 64 plus 36, which makes 100. And so then you're saying log base 10 of 100 is equal to 2. And that's a true statement, bottom line. So when you stick in 8 or negative 8, you get the same exact thing, which is a true statement, and therefore it must be working. All right, so that's just one of your problems. There is so many different kinds. I don't want to do all of these. Let's look down, though, when it says that you can use a calculator. So I'm going to clear the ink on this, slide up. All right, it says with a calculator as needed. So if it were me, anytime I saw something like this, I'd probably go bust out my calculator, figure out what's the key for log base E? ln. And I'd figure out ln at 25, times it by 6, and then I have this whole piece right here, and it'll be some decimal. Then it ends up just adding that to 5 equals 5x minus 7. So once I figure out whatever decimal that is, add 5, and let's say you come out with like 28 or whatever, then you just solve this little mini equation. It's no big deal. So use the calculator to figure this out. You need to know a few keys. The ln key is log base E. This one, there's no way to put that in your calculator. So you'd use the calculator for little parts. Like for instance, after you got the clump alone by dividing by 4, you have log base 2x of 16 equals, let me see, I divided by 4, so I have negative 1. Then I go this to the this equals that. And then you can use your calculator to figure out how to get 2x to the negative 1. How do I get a negative 1 power off of there? Put it to the negative 1. There's actually a negative 1 power of negative 1 key on your calculator if you want. Otherwise, you can say caret, to the power of negative 1. All right. Then we have a few word problems, and basically they have equations. You just got to stick your numbers in the right spots in the equations. These are not super hard application kind of problems. All right. So that's all I have for advice for you. This is a pretty easy review day because we've done so much before this. So hopefully if you need more help on how to solve each of these individual kinds of problems, you'll have to look at the previous videos. And that's all I have for you for today.